What's going on, bro? So masculinity has obviously been under attack in the past couple of years, and there is a collection of men who are questioning the authority of a lot of different governing bodies, systems, powerful people. And in today's video, what I really wanted to step into is the way in which society has feminized men. And if you're watching this video, it's probably because you have an interest in becoming more masculine, understanding what masculinity really is at the heart of things, and just becoming a much more powerful, limitless, in control kind of man. Now, as I said, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 things that might make you a more feminine man. Now, these are things that you might not necessarily think about in your day-to-day life, and they're things that might not necessarily be talked about a whole lot online as well. I see a lot of content, and it's all promoting a very hyper-masculine kind of frame. And for me, that isn't the essence of what masculinity truly is. It's a projecting an idea of masculinity, trying to convince people that you're masculine, and is actually coming from a place of insecurity. So I'm going to get into those 5 signs very shortly. If you're new to the channel and you're looking to increase your masculinity, if you're looking to become more focused, more disciplined, start leveling up in your life, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Whilst you're at it, click that thumbs up button. It helps me to get my videos into the Explore channel or onto the Explore page, and to grow my channel. Now, the first sign that you are a feminine man is that you're overly emotional. And what I mean by that is that when things happen in your life, when you don't get what you want, when people criticize you, when you're being challenged, you become very emotional. You're very sensitive to the world around you. And the cause of you being very emotional probably stems from having a past background, a history of trauma or of bullying, or something that's cut you very, very deeply inside, so that whenever you face any adversity or any challenge, it really gets you to start questioning and doubting yourself. Now, this is obviously something that I've experienced myself. I had quite a traumatic upbringing as well, and it's something that I've consciously worked on in the past 2 or 3 years. And so if you're in that position, if you're feeling overly emotional, you're very sensitive to the world around you, then what I recommend that you do is that you really start to take control over your environment. You start to protect yourself better and learn how to have strong boundaries in your relationships and with other people, and be very conscious of where you spend your time and who you spend your time with. That's really going to allow you to start having a lot more emotional control in your life. And when you're feeling more in control of your emotions, you're going to be much better at making rational decisions, making decisions that are good for you and your life. Now, the second sign that you are a feminine man is you're overly focused on the way that you appear to other people, right? So you're always thinking about the way that other people perceive you, and as a result of that, you step naturally into the nice guy kind of persona. You're very much afraid of people, again, criticizing you or any sort of confrontation. And not only does this stop you from getting respect from people around you, but it also stops you from gaining attraction with women, because one of the things that turns women off the most is a guy who agrees with absolutely everything that they say. In fact, they kind of love it when you're the guy who disagrees with them, that challenges them, that puts them in their place, that doesn't allow them to dictate the way that you are showing up or the way that you're expressing yourself. So if you're overly concerned about the way that other people view you, then what I would recommend is simply going within yourself and healing from some of the stuff that you've been through in your life. The reason that you care so much about what other people think about you is because what you've subconsciously learned growing up is that the way that to protect yourself emotionally from other people is to be the nice guy, because if you're the nice guy, then no one can say anything, no one can criticize you, no one can do anything to you. And so if you heal yourself within, and what I mean by that is that you get into touch with who you really are as a person, and you start to develop very strong values, talking about honesty, loyalty, integrity, authenticity, and you start reflecting on yourself and how you're showing up in the world and whether that is actually aligned to your values, that's going to create a little bit of a internal conflict, because the way that you're showing up in your life is obviously as this nice guy, but in reality you have all of these thoughts, you have all of these opinions, all of these ways in which you want to express yourself that you're not currently doing because you're scared of being rejected or being criticized, which obviously isn't very authentic. So you obviously need to keep reflecting on the way that you're showing up every single day and start to make small changes towards becoming more authentic. The third sign that you're a feminine man is that you spend a lot of your time procrastinating. You numb yourself out with Netflix, video games, socializing, going out, speaking to people online, watching a lot of content. And the reason that you do this is because ultimately you're afraid to move forward in your life. You have a fundamental belief inside of you that you're not going to be successful, that you're not a successful person, that you're a failure. And it's probably because you've had experience in the past. Maybe you've tried to do something, maybe you haven't had the right encouragement, the right support, maybe you weren't successful at that particular thing, and because you didn't get any feedback, you didn't get a pat on the back, or you didn't get told, come on, don't give up, you got to keep on trying, you ultimately decided within your own mind that every time that you try to do something, it fails. And obviously no one wants to be a failure, no one wants to fail at things, but the most successful people in the world have failed thousands and thousands of times. And so those numerous times that you did fail mean absolutely nothing about you and your value and your ability to achieve things in life. But what you really needed to do back then is to continue trying and to keep trying and to keep trying. And so in order to avoid that feeling you have inside, that belief that you're a failure, you numb yourself out to avoid it. And the solution to that problem is really to start achieving things in your life. Very simple things like obviously getting into the gym, getting yourself into great shape. That's going to have such a fundamental impact on the way that you feel about yourself. Once you've achieved one thing, it's going to give you momentum to think that you can achieve another thing. But until you start taking action and until you start putting steps in place to help you to achieve things, then you're always going to stay stagnant in your life. You're always going to continue numbing yourself out. And you need to realize that there is going to be a day in your life where there's going to be a shit ton of regret that you didn't take action, that you didn't start doing things, you didn't start trying to achieve your goals and dreams. Now, if you don't have a vision right now, if you don't have a purpose, you don't have a direction, you don't know what you're wanting to achieve, that's fine. You don't need to have that. All that you need to do is to understand that there's certain things in life that are really going to help you to feel more confident, feel more motivated, and that vision and purpose will come in time. But you need to start taking action. The fifth and final sign that you're a feminine man is that you constantly look for validation, approval, permission, and attention. And the reason that you do that is ultimately because you are not giving yourself enough validation. You're not giving yourself enough approval. You're not giving yourself enough attention. And what you need to realize is that there will never be enough attention. There will never be enough validation. There will never be enough approval in order for you to feel good about yourself, because that needs to come from the inside. Okay, so you might spend a lot of your time online posting things. You might do things in public that try to get you to start getting more attention. You might even, act in emotional ways. You might cause issues and dramas in your own life just to get more attention, and it's a form of self-sabotage. So what you really need to work on doing is validating yourself. Spend a lot more time with yourself and remind yourself of the things that you are doing well, the things that you have achieved, what you like about yourself, and obviously start working on the parts of yourself that you don't like, that aren't good. Start working towards the things that you haven't achieved in your life yet. That's the only way really for you to start believing in yourself and loving yourself, because when you're constantly looking for attention, you need to realize that that's stopping you from being the most authentic version of yourself. Because what you will have learned is that to behave or act in a certain way is likely to get you attention, right? But it means that you're acting essentially. You're not being real, you're not being you. Okay, so you need to start trying to be more authentic. Start to be you. Validate that who you are as a person is important and powerful and limitless. Now, that was the 5 signs that you're a feminine man. Hope you found value from this video. Click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give me that thumbs up for the algorithm, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.